to do a movie.
So how do those compare to like the Rockies or like Staying Alive and kind of the bigger ones, you know?
Well, Rocky was very low budget, the first one.
Yeah.
And the second one wasn't that high budget. And Rocky Balboa, which is kind of one of my favorite ones.
So yeah, same here.
True.
That was kind of low budget. Nobody wanted to make the movie. I mean, my brother had to put his own money in when you think about how big the Rocky, thing was. And so my favorites are actually Rocky 1 and Rocky Balboa.
Yeah. So like if the budget was the same, because Rocky the success it had was crazy. Like, could you tell the difference? You know what I mean? Being on set, like how it was, or do you just is it kind of just like the movie comes out and it takes its own thing, or could you tell before it comes out,
Yeah, I could. Not that I'm like, Karnak the Great or anything, but I mean, just seeing the dailies when they're doing Rocky, I said, this is really good, man. Because the acting is really good and the writing was really good.
The acting's real too.
Yeah, and the writing. Sly wrote, the writing is really good. I mean, Burt Young told me, he said, man, the second I read this, I didn't even know, no one knew where my brother goes. I want it in. Everyone.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because the writing, see, that's the key, man. And the director, John Avildsen, is great director, Save the Tiger, Joe. I mean, and he didn't need to do this low budget movie, but he read it and he got it. I think anyone involved in that movie, if it was someone else, I don't think it would have been the same.
Yeah, and you got to
perfect storm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you got to do a lot of the movie, the music score for the movie.
Well, I sang on the street corner, but
yeah, I love that.
Here's the other side. Like I said, it was low budget, and I was living in an $85 a month apartment and in Trenton with my group. I had a band.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So my brother, always knew. He used to come see me play all the time. He says, I want you to sing like I used to on the street corner a cappella. I said, all right. So there's a funny story involved with that. We were playing at a club. Shows you how poor we were. 160 minutes of music a night we'd play.
This is with Valentine, right? Your band Valentine?
Yeah. We were getting $140 a night for the whole band. Shows you how hot we were, right? So you split that 5 ways and the manager takes 20% off top. Not much. Wow. So my brother goes, I said, Sly, we were going to do. He goes, I don't think the guys want to do the movie because we're making $140 a night. That's a lot of money for us, a lot of chicks there. It was 1975, right? He goes, hey, what do you mean you're not going to do it? I said, they don't want to do it. They think you're jive and stuff, so they don't want to do it. So what happens is my manager comes back and they say, well, they'll give you the 140 to do it. I said, but we're making 140. No, they said 140 each. I go, excuse me? $140 to me, that's like half a month's of work, So we went down, stood on the street corner, had a bottle of wine, a horrible neighborhood. And we sang Take You Back, hung around the set. That was it. A year later, it comes out, it's nominated for 10 Academy Awards, which is unbelievable.
Oh, Frank, actually, speaking of another funny story too, a little bird told me about this too, that Sly used to carry your equipment around too.
Yeah, he did. To get in the club, yeah. Yeah, so he didn't have to pay. Him and John Hertzfeld, another director.
That's awesome.
The amp. Yeah, no problem, because they wanted to grab it. And so you have to understand, we were like a rock band. We thought, when you're that young, you think you're so artsy fartsy and so above it and all. And he was kind of like a bodybuilder, and we thought he was like really jive. Like the people in the band, they thought he was kind of a bully because I don't think he really liked our music that much. So he'd always come in and goes, hey, you know what the problem is with you guys? Why don't you sing it like this? Like Joe Cocker. And the guys are looking and go, holy shit. Because he liked those raspy singers. And that's what he would do. He'd come to a rehearsal.
Like Bruce Springsteen probably, right? Like that type of stuff?
Yeah, or Joe Cocker. So he would come into rehearsal sometimes. Go, yeah, it sucks, you know what I mean? We should sing it like this. Almost like Metallica or something. I said, yeah. And so like they were like a little afraid of him because he was like a bodybuilder and we weighed like 145, 150 pounds. You know what I mean? So, but that was funny. Obviously his career did a little better than ours, to say the least. But It was fun, man. Listen, I've had when I hope people, in Canada get to see the documentary. Of course, you have Amazon, of course.
Yeah, no, for sure. My family and I watched it together. We all loved it. It was
Yeah,
really
so all
well.
you
Yeah, I can't
people out
believe how
there,
much
yeah.
I learned about you in that documentary. I thought it was great.
Well, everyone says that, because I mean, I think I learned a little bit about myself as well, because if all the people go out there and watch it, it's called Stallone Frank, that is, and it's on Amazon. It's kind of interesting that there's so many people in it. And
Yeah.
I think Derek did a great job. I mean, he edited it in his bedroom. Talk about no budget. Yeah. So, I mean, Rocky again was porno movie costs more than Rocky, but it's just who's at the helm. You know what I mean?
I gotcha.
Who's
So what was it
making
like?
things happen.
What was it like for you guys growing up? Because I even I remember reading a story. It said like that your brother had to sell his dog in order to make the movie or something crazy like that. Like,
Well,
how true is that for you guys
it
when you
is
were?
true. No, this was right when they were like doing Rocky, a little
Mhm.
before Rocky.
Yeah.
He sold Butkus to Jimmy Gambino,
Yeah,
who
but
played
hey, Butkus.
Butkus, the little midget guy that's in the movie. And then he got a pang of guilt and he took his dog back. Because I didn't think he did it. And I said, Sly, people are writing to me saying that you sold your dog. And I said, it's a bunch of bullshit. He never said, he goes, no, I did. I said, you serious, man? You sold Butkus? For
That's
what?
crazy.
Like $50? I said, you must have been really destitute. He goes, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember in the documentary too, there was a story. It said like you lived there was like a hole in the wall, and you snuck in the hole in the wall to live in the room next door and stuff like that. Like,
Well, yeah, we had an adjoining wall, my brother and I, but that's not right. I didn't cut a hole in the wall. But what happened? But we had the rooms, I mean, we're right next to each other in New York. What happened? I snuck into a vacant apartment because they had like a little refrigerator, and we didn't have a refrigerator. We didn't have anything. So when I did it, I almost fell out the window and cut my arm. So I jumped in to his apartment. And he goes, what are you doing here? I said, cut, bleeding and stuff. I was trying to get you a refrigerator and I was going to take yours.
Oh my God.
I mean,
It's a free for all. It's a free for all. That's it.
Stupid shit. Yeah. I mean,
That's hilarious.
it's amazing. Once we lived together for a while and, we were not dirty, we were clean, but we had this giant beach towel that we both would use, all the time. But we didn't think about taking it to the laundry and washing it. So I said, yeah, we should probably wash this. So we washed it. It disintegrated. That's how long it was being used without being maintained.
Oh
It
my
just
God.
shredded. I said, wow, talk about destitute, man. When you look back, it's, we were ushers in a movie theater. When you look back, it's the process. It's just part of growing up, You'll look back on years and you go, wow, I was doing that. I had this going, it's just a part of growing up and
It's a part of growing up, part of
Yeah.
life and everything.
coming out alive,
I guess
Yeah.
I'm just curious, like how much that